It doesn't necessarily mean you have to like track every cookie, but we want to be aware of how many cookies we've had. You were kind of mentioning before, you know, a couple little chocolates here, and you know, when we're not really being mindful each time we eat, we're not paying attention to what we're eating. That's when we let things get out of control a little bit, and that's where tracking can be helpful. You may be less apt to eat 5-10 little pieces of chocolate if you know you're going to be tracking those. So it really is that individual piece and what's going to be realistic.
And I think the tracking, so like, I know you have a tracking app. So, you know, I mean, this is finding the right service provider. When I talk about the success circle of the individuals you need in your life, these are things that Gloria looks for. Is like, Cary, do they have a website? So having your own tracking app, which I do like. I love the fact like I said, you got the virtual visits, automatic scheduling, like the automated reminder, because you need those pre and post surgery, because there's so many things that you're thinking about. You want individuals that are going to be there to give you those reminders. But InBody, can you talk about InBody? Because I felt like InBody was, for me, was a better indicator and tool that we use that kind of always gives me something to look forward to every 2 to 3 months.
Right. So an InBody scan is a bioimpedance tool. It's one of several ways that we can measure body composition. Weight is only one factor. And when you're looking to lose weight, oftentimes when we just go into severe calorie restrictions and do, say, a lot of cardio, yeah, the scale changes, but what are we losing? Are we losing body fat, or are we losing body fat and muscle? And the more muscle, yes, and there's a great picture of an InBody scan, but the more muscle you lose during weight loss, the sooner you are to stall, the harder it's going to be to keep that weight off. And the more severe of a restriction, dietary restriction, you are likely to have to be in to hit your final goal. So what doing, say, like an InBody scan will do, and it's just this very fancy scale that you stand on, you hold on to some handles, sends like a little electric signal through your body, and essentially is measuring where water lies. And it gives you a fairly accurate, I believe it's like 95 to 98% accurate, assuming conditions are all the variables are the same and ideal. It tells you approximately how much lean body mass you have and what your body fat percentage in actual pounds are. So as you go through your lifestyle changes and are losing weight, we can see, well, how much of this is body fat and how much of this is muscle, and then we can adjust what we're doing via exercise or via calories to help you be more successful in the long run, and again get more body fat loss, not just weight loss. So that's what I really like about those InBody scans. It's very similar to doing, say, like a pinch test. I know people, if anybody's ever been pinched with those little calipers, and they'll do the arms. So they'll usually do like a legs on the hips and on the abdomen area. And it can be a relatively accurate way, assuming that it's done correctly. A DEXA scan is probably the best way to get body composition, but you have to get a doctor's prescription, and they are exceptionally expensive. So
what type of doctor, like when we say doctor prescription, what type of doctor do you know this? I'm just asking, would a person go to? Like, is it a sports medicine doctor? Is it the PCP?
It's usually your PCP, and what they're also going to measure in that DEXA scan is bone density. So it's one of the ways we determine whether people might have osteopenia, osteoporosis, brittle bones, but it also gives us a detailed body composition as well. And you may not need a prescription anymore. You may be able, there may be places that offer a DEXA scan or a bod pod, but they're pretty expensive. Yeah, they're pretty expensive, and we're like an InBody scan. Where in the local Portland area, there's a few physical therapy offices that offer it. The one that we utilize is at a Max Muscle in Clackamas. So in the Clackamas Promenade, right by the Target, there is a Max Muscle, and the gentleman there that owns it offers InBody scans for like $10 to $20, depending on whether you're affiliated with somebody. So it's actually fairly reasonable. and then, or you can get like, I think you can do like a membership with him where you get discounts on some of the supplements and can do like an in-body scan once a month. So it's a great way to measure body composition changes to make sure that weight that is being lost is from body fat, or weight that's being gained, because some people are looking to gain muscle, gain weight. Make sure that it is actually coming from muscle, and it's just a great way for us to get better feedback and about what changes are happening. The one other thing that I really like about the InBody as well is it gives us our basic energy needs, our minimal basic energy needs that we have in a day based on our body composition. Because currently, if you go to a registered dietitian, MyFitnessPal, most standard apps, we use a standard equation. So it's just a math equation that's based on human averages. So if you fall outside those human averages, that number is not going to be nearly as accurate for you. The InBody uses that equation, but adjusts based on muscle mass and body composition. So it's a little bit more accurate, and we can get a better idea of where your starting point should be.